Hello everyone, this is Stephen Fernandez, UR16CS057, and today I'll do the fourth experiment in the computer networks lab, that is called as routing, and this is called as IP routing. So static routing it's actually. So what in static routing we do is, okay, what is routing actually? So in routing actually, when this PC is on a different network and these other PCs are also on a different network, but if you want to transfer the packets coming from this PC to this network, so you just have to take it and pass. So if the router is not configured to connect to this router when it has to connect to this PC, so what it will do, it will be stuck away. So these PCs will never be able to connect to each other's host. So in that case, the router has to take the packets from coming from this PC and give it to the specific router assigned by this PC. So manually we do it, that is called a static routing. So dynamically in a large network topology where it is completely not possible to map those to route those routers, in that case it is called dynamic routing. So automatically the router configures according to some Java API connections and then it connects the routers accordingly. So in static routing in a small network topology, so maybe in office or maybe in a house, we statically provide the routing from these addresses to another addresses. So these PCs, so let's see in this scenario, these PCs have their own IP addresses, and in this case the IP address of this router is the gateway address of the PC. So IP address of this router is the gateway of this PC. So this enables us to connect these PCs accordingly. So as you can see, these PCs are now connected to these routers. So this middle router is connecting all these three different PCs. So let's see how many different networks can we make. So this is one network, this is another one, this is another one. So total there are three networks over here. So how can this PC connect to this PC? So in that case we have to route these and these routers accordingly. So what we do is we go to this router, we check the IP address of the router, and we also see the IP address of this router. So between them there is a gateway address, so that will be like 255.255.255.0. so what we do is basically open this router, and inside the CLI mode we enter en, so like IP root. Okay, so we have to get into root, so we don't need to go to config. So we get into the root and then we type this command called show IP root. So in this case we show the IP and the root of the address. So in that case we can see, so how to set up this. So we do the IP root, the IP address of the current router, in between the static address or the host address of the connecting address, network address of the router, like 255.255.255.0, and then the IP address of the another router. By entering this command, you are manually connecting the router of this IP address router to another IP address router. So in that case those routers are interconnected. Once those routers are interconnected, they transfer all the data packets from this router to that router, and that router transfers the data packets from that router to this router. So only if it is needed, so only if the PCs, only if there is a service PC. So to check if the connections are acquired, the command is show IP root. So in show IP root we can check is that 192.168.2.0 directly connected to the fast Ethernet. So like 2.32 is directly connected. So 2.64 is connected via one separate link and to 2.34, and 2.96 is connected via 2.34. So the same thing we do it for these routers as well. So even here like 2.32 is connected to the serial 2, and 2.128 is connected via one port to 2.165. So this is how all these networks are connected. So the same thing, if you check it over here, it will be the same. This is how all these routers are interconnected. Okay, thank you so much for watching.